Hey, Unstuckers, Josh here, as joined every week, but not lately, but back again by my co-host Cel. Say what's up, Cel.
Hey Josh, how are you, man?
Good, good. Welcome to October 1st. This is Casual Friday. If you didn't know, Casual Friday is where we take a minute to have a mini mastermind on our own businesses and get the ball rolling on our own shit. I think that's mostly what we used to say.
Yeah,
It's
sounds
been
about
six
right.
weeks or so, and that sounds right. Yeah, we don't know if we're doing this right, but we're doing it. That's the point. I do remember the first thing we do, Chow, is we go to pleasantries. So, Chell, how are you?
Welcome to Pleasantville. So I feel like I really missed an opportunity here since it is October 1st and I live in Germany. I feel like I should be drinking beer and I should be wearing like traditional German garb. I really
Mm,
missed an opportunity here.
you did, you did. But your hair is on fire,
Oh, thank you. I washed it.
which is great because I don't know if you know this, but today is National Hair Day.
Dude, yours is also like there's just like a little boop boop moving. It's
Oh
quite
yeah,
cartoon
yeah. See,
character-esque, but also very perfect.
we're not planned, but it is National Hair Day. It's also National Homemade Cookies Day, in case
Oh
you weren't aware.
shit.
So, way to get there with the hair. We're gonna have to get there with the cookies, though.
All right, I'll send you some.
Great.
Excellent. Expect them in 2 to 3 weeks and probably moldy.
Okay, I'll make my own. Oh man, how has this break been for you, Chell?
It has been kind of awesome. I don't
Oh,
remember what my goals were the last time, but I
oh
feel
wait,
like,
I think I have that.
oh shit. I was gonna say, I feel like I've achieved and surpassed the goals, and I'm like
Ooh,
on a completely different level at this point. NBD kind of BD.
I I think that seems like a BD. Hold on. I'm gonna get the notes.
That means
I
big
usually have
deal,
notes in front of
guys.
me, but it's my first day. I don't know what's going on.
It's the first day of October. It's fine. It's fine.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, what do I have here? Your goals last time were to create and edit the masterclass video. And I, sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. So I'm going to
Squiggle,
go
squiggle, squiggle.
5 RDs a day.
Oh, okay. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Instagram outreach.
Instagram outreach. I see it. I did read it correctly, I think, but I just didn't finish the note.
Wait, so then what were your goals back in the day?
My goals was I was building a website. I assume that was the first click website. My notes suck.
Six
and
weeks
and
ago, us knew what that meant.
yeah, 6 weeks. Like when we do this weekly, I can kind of piece it together. But 6 weeks ago, no idea. And SEO content, which I did. There's a first click website, and I think it was filling out a bunch of extra content about what the services are and verbiage and
Huh.
doing that. And I did that like right away. That feels like it was so long ago.
Dude, it does. Wow, this is crazy, guys. We're like taking a trip back in the time machine.
Yeah, I hope this is interesting to you because for us, it's fascinating.
Wow. So that masterclass is rolled into something completely different now. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that is fucking hilarious. And I know a little bit about that, but maybe not everything about it. So why don't we roll into our updates? Oh, wait, first of all, I did my shit. So suck it, Nazis. See, I know how to
Excellent.
do this.
There
All
you
right,
go.
let's roll into our updates. 10 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock and go.
So that masterclass launch that I was talking about in late August, early September went horribly, guys. So much so that I have shifted my verbiage, shifted my niche, because my other goal that week was to reach out to 5 RDs, which I've consistently done over the past 6 weeks. And now I'm actually talking to like more on a regular basis. And I have
Heck
like more
yeah.
people in my DMs on a regular basis.
Heck yeah.
Um, so if the verbiage that I'm using in the last minute hasn't given it away, I'm now focusing on RDs and like working with dietitians rather than working
What?
with busy families. So my thought process there was they're already working with people who struggle in the kitchen. So
Uh-huh.
if I can create a product for them, they can be the ones to like sell it, get it out there. So that's kind of crazy because I've since built a website completely about that and two membership sites completely about that. Dude, that's
Uh-huh.
nuts.
So you've pivoted a whole bunch.
One might say that, yes.
But is it similar or the same basic content in the course?
Oh, yeah, 100%. The content's the same. I'm just marketing it to a different audience that I think is a bit more receptive to it because then they could be the ones to be like, "No, you need this." And like someone's really going to listen to their dietitian and or doctor or like nutrition professional if they're in an oh shit situation, you know? Or
So
like,
you 180'd the sales and marketing of it and you repackaged the content.
yeah. That's literally what happened.
And you have a whole new business.
Yeah. I'm kind of digging it. So, I think I spoke about it to you guys a couple of months ago, but using market research to like get sales. So that
Mhm.
was my approach. I knew like probably 30 plus RDs. I probably know more than that, but like those are the only people I could think of when I was like making this list. So I reached out to all of them and two of them like really stuck and like those are the two who helped me create what I've created for them. So it's called the Kitchen Confidence Resource Library and that is a membership based, I guess you could say, resource library for the dietitians that they can resell uh, like for increased ROI. They can sell it at rate or they can roll it into a package that's already existing. So
Mhm.
what I think is really cool about that is like they can use it how they want it, right? So my frustrations there though, let's get real talk, guys. Real, real, real.
Row
Uh,
row.
is I had two people say that they wanted it, and that was like a week and a half ago when it launched, and they haven't purchased yet. Like they were
Mm.
super down about it. I don't want to force like sales on a phone call. That feels schmutzy to me. Like if it's someone feels like it's a good fit for them, they'll buy it when they know it's right as long as I keep reminding them that it exists. So they're
Right.
in my like they're on my email list and if they want it, they're going to buy it when it's right for them. I feel so schmutzy trying to get the close on the sale or rather the close on the call. So I'm
Mhm.
not going to take that approach. I want to do what feels right for me, what feels right for my business. And like I know that's what every fucking sales guru out there says, but that doesn't feel good to me. So I'm
You know
not
what?
going to do it.
I think sales gurus say that because it is the best sales advice of 50 years ago, you
Hmm.
know, and so it's cemented in the culture. But I heard during our break that that the path to from lead to customer is much longer now.
Yeah.
In general, the public just is busier, has less attention span, um, and for all those reasons, it takes a while before they go from like, "What do you have?" to "Yeah, I'm buying that." Which 50 years ago was like, I could do this in the same hour, right? This is what I have. You've never heard of it before. Close, close, close. And
Yeah.
now people hear close, 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 and they run away. So
Dude,
I
and
think you're right.
yeah.
Fuck the gurus out there.
Fuck the sorry gurus, but fuck you. Dude, I mean, I want people who like want to be a part of it and like if I sell them into something that they're like, maybe not like 100% sold on, also life happens, right? Like life fucking happens. I get it. I'm not trying to sell you, you know what I mean? So I want to make it less schmutzy. That's my approach with this, but I feel really good about it. I feel like my messaging is on point. Um, the one thing I did want to chat with you about, since now you're like an SEO master, uh,
Yeah.
I ran a couple of tests. I don't know how valid they are about like site speed and whatnot, and my site came back not so speedy. So
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to get some insight on like validity of that versus like, should I spend some money and outsource some SEO to a person who I know can do it for me, Joshua Bean?
you yes, probably. But so site speed. Yes, it matters, and anyone who knows what they're talking about is going to yell at me for whichever opinion I have right now because it's a divisive topic. I think. Um, my opinion is yes, it matters. It matters more to the individual user than it matters to Google.
Yeah.
Um, it matters to Google because Google keeps getting smarter and smarter about figuring out what matters to the user
Mm.
and ranking accordingly.
Yeah.
Um, but I've I've had a Wix website for my JBit Tech website for years, and it has ranked number one on the number one slot, as well as some things on the number one page of Google um, this year because of other SEO things. And Wix is famously slow. SEO people will tell you, "Don't use Wix; it's so slow. You can't do it." I did it. So,
Suck it, Nazis. Wait, is that
suck
not
it,
appropriate?
Nazis. It's always appropriate. so, so to me, yes, it is a factor. It is not the be all end all, and you don't have to kill yourself to make it happen to rank high on that stuff.
Okay.
That said, you use Squarespace, right?
Yeah.
There's some stuff you can do in Wix and Squarespace and all these things to speed them up a bit. Um, like for me, I've now got my desktop site loading very fast, but the mobile site is the part that's slow and shitty. And of course, mobile is more than half the internet users these days, so
Yeah.
that's the part I want to speed up. But I've done things like Wix and maybe Squarespace does this too. That has like a loading symbol.
Hmm.
So instead of like white page, white page, white page loading,
Yeah.
um, it just loads a quick graphic like animation of my icon sliding in, and then it slides out once the page behind it is loaded.
Cool.
And that doesn't mean shit to the website speed testers out there, right? But it does mean something to the users
Yeah.
because they're entertained for the 2 seconds it takes to load, right?
Totally.
So stuff like that, I've just been like, well, it's more about the user experience. What can I do to make the user experience better?
Yeah. Dude, that is a fantastic point.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Second, I don't know if it's really a question, it's more of a statement, but you know how everyone says to focus on pain points? That also feels schmutzy to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've decided to focus on benefits and like inundate dietitians, like when they go to my sales page, inundate them with the benefits for them, but also for their clients, for
Mm-hmm.
their practice, but also for like the sustainability of their clients. So, what do you think about that approach instead of focusing on the negatives? Because like focusing on the negatives just like doesn't vibe like with what I want to do. And I feel like if I harp on that too much, they're not going to dig it. But if I harp on the benefits, that's going to be like gold.
Yeah, I mostly agree. I think
Okay.
it's just my opinion, but I think what you said towards the end makes a lot of sense. Don't harp on the negative, harp on the benefits.
Yeah.
But I think that also doesn't mean don't not say the negative,
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
right? So I think to me, I think I've heard it said both ways. I've heard people say focus on the pain points, which sounds schmutzy and manipulative to me,
Yeah.
and other people say um, state the problem,
Yeah.
right? And I think state the problem you have to do because that's what gets the reader, like in your case, the RDs, to be like, oh, she gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, establishing yourself as the guide, like I got a better way, will also be like, I've been there. I know
Totally.
what it's like to tell clients to do something and they don't, or not have the resources available to whatever. Um, Here's just another tool in your chain, and then benefit, 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 right? So
Dude, you just in my mind. So
I did what now? Oh, cool, cool.
you guys really need to watch YouTube for this. But so what you're saying is I need to put myself in their shoes, which I was as an
Mhm.
RD, but like I created this because my clients weren't seeing results. Not necessarily 100% true, but fuck yeah, I can use that
Well,
leverage.
you created it because you know it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
And I think the reason you're already seeing, even if the follow through is not quite there yet, the reason you're seeing so much interest from these sales calls is because they're looking at you as the guide.
Yeah.
Before you were saying, busy moms, I get it. right? And now you're saying, which you're not a mom. Like,
No.
spoiler alert for people out there. Um, uh, but now you're saying RDs. I get it, and you do. So it just means inherently, without even pre-planning it, the way you communicate with RDs is more genuine.
Yeah.
It comes from a place of I get it, even if you don't say specifically I get it, um, because you've been specifically in those shoes. So
And it's so interesting, like with busy moms, I had to say I get it so much more in my messaging,
right,
and now I don't.
right,
Like I don't actually have to say those three words
exactly,
because my
exactly,
messaging is just so much more clear. So,
yeah.
it's some good shit, guys. When you find let's just recap. When you find a niche that fucking works, it's so much better. It goes so much more smooth. I feel like I'm swimming in butter, which sounds like a clogged artery, but
Yeah, that can't be good for you.
bacon fat? Is that any better? Can I get an RD in here to clarify this?
Oh man. So timer's up, but real quick, let's let the Unstuckers know, what is your new like business model,
Yeah,
real succinctly,
definitely.
because I know it, but they haven't heard it yet.
Definitely. So I've created a resource library that I'm selling on a membership basis to dietitians so that they can resell to their clients or just offer as like an added bonus to their clients, however they want to structure it. Within that membership, their clients get access to training videos that are super quick, super easy, that I've been preaching this entire time. They get access to me so I can give them support between their dietitian sessions. And then there's also a monthly training where I bring in a chef from the outside so that their clients get exposure to different types of cuisine, but with the same like umbrella of flavor and cooking method as kind of the overarching there. For the
Mm-hmm.
dietitians, they get on a quarterly basis to tell me what they want to see, what their clients need. And that I think is the really cool part about creating this because you get to bring a community together that doesn't necessarily come together because even as entrepreneurs guys, like I feel like we're very isolated, which is why Josh and I love doing this. Um, because it is so isolating as a solopreneur not really being able to like touch base with anyone. So bringing the RDs together in that way and then also giving them trainings on how they can monetize this because I feel like RDs don't really see the opportunity there. They're like, "Oh, I can't nickel and dime my client." But like, dude, $10 a month, you can charge your client. Like you can make money
Mm-hmm.
on this, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm
So you're
doing now.
you're basically selling to people who are in the position you get it, right?
Yeah.
Um and they're turning around and being your sales team,
Yeah.
right? So you just swam like upstream on it and said, I know, I'll get the trusted RDs to sell for me. And I love that it's monthly, and I love that it's art to RDs, because if you are selling monthly to individuals, they would get the information they need out of it and they'd cancel within a month or two.
Yeah.
But RDs will continue getting new clients themselves and just keep paying you to have licenses to hand out to new clients. So
Exactly. I
that's
think the
great.
only thing that I've like gotten feedback on is that people don't want to sign up for like an annual membership, but the only way I can build a community is to ensure that someone's going to stick in it for a year to give me accurate feedback.
Yeah. Yeah. And you might have to compromise on that
Yeah.
if it comes down to it, um but that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's exciting.
I'm very
So any
excited.
sales yet?
No,
Not real, not actual sales
not
yet, but
actual
lots of
sales. Like I
interest.
said, the two people in the pipeline were super stoked about it. They just didn't press yes. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just going to keep sending them like really valuable info over the next couple of weeks and hopefully that comes soon because yeah, why
That would be
not?
nice. That would be nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, dude. Right back at you. I'm going to put the gracious 10 minutes, 2 seconds on the clock.
Ooh, so gracious.
So gracious. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's do this shit.
Okay. I have no idea where I was when I signed off on this podcast. So I might repeat myself. I might not. We're going to see how this goes. Because according to my notes, it was National Fajita Day.
very important.
I was still SEOing JBit. Okay, so there's an update. JBit, I believe, is news to listeners. Got to #1 for virus removal Albuquerque. Yeah,
Woo!
and I think it's still there. Um, I have been, I've gone from like number 100 to number like 10 ish, depending on the exact phrasing for all versions of Mac Repair Albuquerque.
Wow.
Um, in the last 6 weeks. And yeah, it's been crazy. I'm trying a bunch of different things at kind of all at the same time, um, because I have two clients who have signed up for new websites and SEO.
Dude.
I know, and one of them wanted a logo designed first, or logo design part of the package, but I told them that has to happen first because that logo informs a lot of the website design, right?
Totally.
So that was just finalized earlier this week. We got a new logo out the door, which I think is gorgeous, and they love it. Um, and so with that, we're going to start building their website next week, and then doing SEO, which means they're going to be paying me like $2,000 a month to website updates, SEO, and run ads. And part of that is like ad spend on Google and stuff. So so that's been very good and very exciting. But it was like 2 months ago. Like I already said it on the podcast that I got someone like this. It was like two
Yeah.
months ago or more that this client signed up. In theory, like your clients, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then it took them like a few more weeks to sign the contract. And then and they got COVID and they're okay, thank goodness. But
Yeah.
they got COVID, so they were out for a bit, so we couldn't start the logo. So, like you were saying earlier, sometimes when people show interest, you just keep reminding them you're there whenever they're ready. And it seems like we finally got the logo out, which was the first step. So now we're gonna get right into building the website and doing the SEO. Then I got another person right behind her that is wanting pretty much the same thing except without the logo design, and we're just waiting for him to sign the contract. But he keeps saying like, I got to do that, I will. Like, so it doesn't, he's not like, he's just
Ghosting
busy.
you. Yeah.
He's a solopreneur, and I get it. When you sign up for a big expensive new thing that you have to wrap your mind around as a busy solopreneur, I get it. It might take a few weeks to sign the contract. Got
Yeah.
it. Like, no big deal. So just keep reminding them here when you're ready, kind of thing. So yeah, that's really good. With that income, hopefully coming soon. Magdalene is now half-time, 20 hours a week.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Which has been so cool to see how much work gets done when I suddenly have, 60-ish hours a week, 20 of which are not me,
Yeah.
doing stuff. And that's great. I mean, I probably work more than 40, but if I worked 40, it would be 60. um, and yeah, and then I'm just working on mostly right now, getting a bunch of the white labeling, outsourcing stuff figured out. I found a company out of London. Just yesterday, I had a meeting with the owner of the company.
Oh wow.
He just like has his Calendly on his website, and like you can schedule a meeting. So I was like, tell me more about your stuff because it sounds great, but I want to A, like connect with you. Are you a real person?
Yeah.
B, tell me more. And so we talked a bit, and he's young like us, and he's just like, I just found my niche, kind of like you in a way, right? I found my
Yeah.
niche serving the people who do marketing agencies. So, because so much of a marketing agency's time goes into finding the customers and continuing their relationship.
Yeah.
So if you add on top of that hiring people to do the SEO, it's really hard. So I just do the SEO. And I was
That's
like, great.
awesome.
So I'm trialing him. I'm trialing two people at the same time, actually, which is not the most scientific way of going about it as far as SEO results, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's responsible for what. But I care less about that. I care more about work output
Yeah.
and communication with me, right?
Totally.
So that's what I'm trialing, and I can do that at the same time. So far, I just signed up for that one that I met with the owner yesterday. signed up on his website. I got 2 update emails within a few hours because his team is global.
Wow.
So he's like, no matter when you reach out to us, somebody's there to like help you with an emergency or close a sales call with a question or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
great. Um, and so yeah, as I slept last night after I signed up for it, I got like 2 emails like, welcome, we'll get back to you soon. And then we got this information, we're working on this, we'll get back to you soon. And I was like, wow. The other one who I signed up with through BNI, he's a BNI member in another country who
Oh
reached
yeah.
out. I think I mentioned this on the
Yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
I hope I did. Um,
No, that was like between podcasts,
is it
but
between
yeah,
podcasts?
but that
Okay.
happened, guys.
That happened. So there was a guy in another BNI who reached out and said, hey, I do SEO. I'm reaching out to all the BNI digital marketing agencies. I was like, you're smart. Very good.
Yeah.
So I had a one-to-one with him. We talked. Sounded like he knew what he was doing. So I gave him some money and sent him on his way. Haven't really heard anything for 2 weeks since I hired him. I
Mm.
think stuff is happening. I think the work is being done, but I'm real disappointed in the communication. Um, and I think that's mostly what happens in SEO world is people go, got the sale, and they run and do their work and they hide.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm trying to be different as an agency. Like I want to develop the relationships and keep them going. And
Yeah.
look at what we did this week, so that nobody goes, I paid a lot of money. Is anything happening?
And remind
You
me,
know?
he was doing it for your site, yeah?
Yeah. So he is doing it for my site, as well as the one I signed up for last night is also going to be doing it for my site.
Okay.
The one last night, they're the only agency that's affordable that I've seen that does one blog article a week, not a month,
Wow.
a week. And content is still fucking king.
Mm-hmm.
So website speeds, all that stuff. Content is king. It's what gets you longevity in your SEO too, because a lot of the other tactics, backlinks and stuff, can disappear quickly. Um, and so if you don't keep up with them, like if somebody cancels their SEO, I'm on page 1, I don't need to spend this money anymore. It can all fall apart if people don't continually do it. But if you continually blog and have valuable content there, um, that can keep your status high for a long time.
Got it.
So we'll see what the quality is like, but they're going to write me a blog article a week for first click, and as long as I think the quality is high, then it's going to be a good deal. And I'm going to do that with all my clients. Like we're going to do a blog article a week.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So it's just a lot of things spinning. I think, trying this and doing that for the last 2 months. I think I've got it down to, there's some things that don't work either because of communication or because of quality of output. There are some things that do work, but they're too expensive. And there's a few things that I'm still trialing that are kind of like right in the middle, because I could easily just like Google outsourcing SEO and spend all the money I'm earning, like all of it and more,
Yeah.
to get what I promised the customer outsourcing and then make no money myself, right? So it's finding that sweet spot of like quality output and charging me a proper price, but like not so much so that I make no money.
Yeah.
Then, um, and some of it's doing it myself, but I think I've got finally, like I'm starting to see through the weeds. I've got a plan where I set up a new thing. I design the website because I like designing websites. It's fun for me. So I'm going to keep doing that in-house as long as I can,
Yeah.
time-wise. I set up basic SEO stuff, Google Analytics, Google My Business, all these profiles. And then I ship it off and I outsource blog writing and link outreach building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I hope it works. I think it will. But I'm finally, after like months of just being like, I don't know, there's so much things and I don't know what's important and da da da. I finally feel like I have a game plan for my client, which is perfect timing because I'm probably starting building their website next week.
I feel like you're finally at a point where you're not building the plane as you're trying to fly it. Like you're
Nope, still building it.
No, really?
But like we have wings now, maybe some seats. I don't know about seat belts. Like we're in a much better position to take this thing off than we were a month or 2 ago. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's we're starting to feel like there's there's a plan, and then from that plan there's going to be systems and policies, and and then it'll just be easier to go outreach to people, try and sell to people, and once we onboard them, we don't go, we go, yeah, we're going to do X, Y, and Z.
Cool.
so so I'm very excited. And I know time's up, but real quick, I'm kind of debating because I've been so busy with computer repair, which has been good. I'm debating stopping the ads, which I think I'm going to do. I'm not really debating. I'm going to stop the ads on computer repair because A, I'm busy. B, even though I'm getting more calls, I'm not getting quality calls. I'm getting people who just ask me the price and then disappear, or set up a appointment and cancel on me later, or just don't show up later.
Yeah.
So I think like 25% of my calls are good,
Yeah.
which means I can, at current rates, I can currently spend $400 to $500 a month and maybe get one good customer out of it.
It's not worth it.
Which, if that customer is a good customer for and a often a recurring customer, it could be worth it.
Yeah.
But a lot of my customers are types who see me once or twice a year, if that, right? So
Yeah.
like $500 for someone to come in and spend $100 with me, right? And maybe on a good month it's 3 people, but still 500 for 300.
Yeah.
So I was kind of realizing the quality of calls is not great for people who surf the internet just looking for a quick fix for their computer. They're not who I want. So I think I'm going to stop that.
Okay.
But I've learned a lot about the ads, at least for myself, so I can do it for other industries. And then I'm considering changing my category in my networking group
2.
to digital marketing. Now, I can't do that in my chapter because there is another person who does that. So that would require changing chapters. But at this point, like, I went to my networking group today and I was like, please don't give me referrals today because like I can't handle them. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to get real busy real fast trying to get a bunch of like $80 transactions versus busy without emergencies and for $1,000 a month or more clients, you know. I'm like, yeah, I want more of that. I want to start working that angle more. And like Magdalene, her chapter is doing so well
Yeah.
with that already. I'm like, maybe it's just time for new scenery, new category, and I don't know. So what do you think about that? That's my question to you.
Dude, those are big moves.
Big moves.
That would be a big fucking move.
I mean, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm
No, for
not
sure.
ready. I want policies and procedures in place. I want to know the game plan works. But like maybe by the end of the year.
Do you think that your current chapter would still give you referrals and would still stick with you? Like the people that you have from that chapter would still stick with you for computer repair?
I think it'll be a mix.
Okay.
I think the people who call me often, like the businesses who actually have offices and stuff, they'll continue calling me.
Okay.
But the people who've maybe used my services once in the last however many years, um, I'm probably easily replaced by whoever might take my spot.
Yeah.
And there are finally, which is a good and a bad thing, more IT guys in other chapters now. Like when I joined my chapter, I was the only IT guy in New Mexico that
Yeah.
that was in a BNI chapter. So it's different now. There'll probably be more competition in terms of replacing me.
Okay. The reason I asked, I was just being like, I don't want you to burn bridges based off of that decision.
Yeah, yeah, and that's part of it. Like I don't want to not do IT. I just don't want to actively pursue more of that business right now,
Yeah.
right? So if I can continue keeping my current clients, um, and if it's a bad move, it's a bad move, and I go back to figuring out how to nurture um, PC repair clients. But for now, it seems like it might be the way to go for lifestyle, right? I'm
For
sick of
dude,
being
yeah.
stressed on other people's emergencies.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that. The passive, I guess more so passive, because you still have to do shit, right? Like with SEO. But the like going more so towards passive, I think is for stress so much better. Or for
Yeah.
managing stress so much
Well,
better.
the thing, it's not even like the passive thing because I still do plenty of work in managing other people and stuff. But to me, it's just like, oh man, so much of my work can be done whenever I feel like it,
Yeah.
as opposed to receiving 10 calls while we're recording this episode right now with people with their own computer emergencies. And I'm like, I'm booked today and tomorrow. Next week, I'm off. And people are freaking calling me
Yeah.
with emergencies. And I'm like, I can't get to you for a week and a half.
Yeah.
um, and, eventually I do want to hire to keep that afloat, but I want my lifestyle to be less responding to other people's emergencies and more just helping people on a non-emergency basis.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good move, dude. I
Yeah.
feel it out, like find like as you did with Mags, right? Like go to other groups, see if you vibe with them because that's going to be a really big indicator as to whether or not like you should pursue that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you and I were talking about slightly off air, but like it's about the family. So like if you feel like you can vibe with them and like it's a good relationship, then yeah, pursue it. Because I feel like with BNI, that's a huge component of it.
Hmm. Totally. Yeah, I would definitely have to visit some chapters a few times to get a feel for how they operate and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see. That's my update.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, before we get to goals, I think we have a special announcement we need
Do
to
do
make.
do do.
Do, 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 do. Um, Dear Unstuckers, dear listeners out there, we have so enjoyed our 6 weeks off. um, why? I don't know if you can tell from our updates, but there's a lot more clarity. There's a lot more action happening in our own businesses. And I think that is in no small part because of the amount of focus we've had on our own businesses, which Casual Friday is a big part of it. And quite honestly, we've continued meeting offline to help each other. That's why we
Wow,
know
dude.
things about each other's businesses. Sorry,
Way to burst their bubbles, man.
we didn't invite you to that one, so sorry. but but the other episodes, getting topics together, getting interviews together, that has pulled away from our own businesses in a way that we've realized over the last 6 weeks. We need that time, especially now. We're both obviously pivoting in big ways. Um, so, with that said, this is going to be the last episode of the Unstuck Institute podcast.
Oh, I got
Oh
the
my God,
chills. Oh.
168. I think when we started this, people were telling us that the average podcast lasts 7 episodes, and we were like, okay, we can get past 7. We sure did. We sure got 161 more than that. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna take the time. We might come back in some iteration or form because we really do enjoy this. We're just at capacity right now. And we thank people who've given us feedback, and stuff like that. We hope to take that into consideration, especially from people who used to be on Clubhouse with us.
Hmm.
Um, we hope to take that into consideration as we move forward. Um, so we're gonna keep we're gonna stop paying for our website, so that's gonna shut down at some point. Heads up.
Being real.
To be real, I'm not going to pay for that. Uh, but but Instagram sure is free, so we're going to keep that open. If you need to reach out to us for anything, for any reason, please do. We love interacting with you guys, and we will miss you. And also, if we do decide to do something in the future, um, we'll definitely announce it there. So you can follow us at Unstuck Institute on Instagram. Chell, what did I miss?
Dude, that was the saddest closure to the Unstuck Institute I've ever heard. But yeah, guys, it's real life.
Well,
We've
it's not
been
a happy time.
hella
Come on.
productive over the last 6 weeks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry, because we're getting shit done.
We're getting shit done. And we hope with that shit, I think when we come back, probably, let's be real, when we come back in some form or function, um, I think this experience of having pivoted our businesses in such big ways and having really had the time to focus on it is going to make us that much more valuable, hopefully, to you, dear listener. Um, so I hope we come back and we're even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if not, it's because we're fucking busy. And don't take this as an excuse to let Nazis go out there roaming the streets. Just keep telling them, suck it, Nazis. Just because I'm not here broadcasting it every week doesn't mean that they shouldn't stuck it.
Words of wisdom, guys. Words of wisdom to live
Yeah.
by.
Did I bring the sadness out back into just ridiculousness again?
That was beautiful.
That's how we roll
I
at the
think one
Unstuck
last
Institute.
thing is just because you're not checking in casually with us every Friday. Sorry, guys, I've had a little bit of champagne. Checking in with us casually on Fridays doesn't mean that you can't form your own cash fry with another solopreneur. So
Absolutely.
connect
This
with
is
other
so
people.
valuable to us. We always get ideas off of each other, whether online or offline. And I think if we always ask other people, like, what's the number one advice you have for people? And that would probably be my number one advice at this point is team up with somebody who has the same level of go get 'emness as you do, and is and from a different industry,
Yeah.
because they will have just a lot of different ideas.
Yeah, I completely agree.
See, look at that.
All right,
All right,
Josh.
kids, remember, ready is a lie. That's how we started this podcast. Want to make sure we semi end on this podcast, but it's not the end yet, because even though we're not going to check in on these goals online, we're going to for sure make some goals. So, Chel, in the next week, what do you plan to do?
That's a very loaded question, Josh. Uh,
Yeah,
I plan to collab with 2 other RDs on Instagram. That
hell
means
yeah.
continuously reaching out to people and
Yep.
being like, "Boo Boo Kitten, do you want to be my friend?" That's literally
Boo boo
more
kitten.
more metaphorically what I have to do
Yes.
over the next week and a half slash forever, basically.
Basically forever.
Basically forever. But real talk though, second, I have to get a welcome email sequence together for RDs, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically just tweaking the current email sequence that I have, but
Right.
making it RD forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
What about you?
Me, I am taking next week off. It's my quarterly mental health break, from emergencies. And
Nice.
I've mentioned before, I try to take like 4 days off, 4-day weekend at least, if not a full week. This time I said, fuck it, I need a week. Um, and not all of it's going to be not working. It's just going to be not answering the JBit phone and not responding to computer emergencies, because that's the thing that I need the mental health break from.
Yeah.
So next week I'm off. JBit is closed, but First Click will be open because I will be building that website.
Very
Probably,
cool.
as long as they fill out their questionnaire, I will be building that website. Um, and that's going to take a good chunk of time. Other than that, I plan to hike while the weather's still semi nice, although it's raining like crazy today. But hopefully, we'll bounce back a little bit, as New Mexico usually does before it really gets into fall. And I'll get some hikes, get some rest time, maybe paint my kitchen. I don't know.
You're getting wild, man. I
Yeah,
really thought you would have taken a week off that coincides with like playoffs and the World Series.
that would have been smart. Just nope, absolutely not. Well, part of it is I'm a producer on the Albuquerque Funny Fiesta, and that is opening here. By the way, if you're in New Mexico, Albuquerque Funny Fiesta, AlbuquerqueFunnyFiesta.com, is where you can get tickets and stuff. Um, that's opening here on October 15th. So, and most of my responsibility for that is kind of pre the festival.
Got it.
So part of it's like, what, I also need time to just catch up and make sure that that's ready.
For sure.
And so that also is going to happen next week.
Cool.
So suddenly my week off sounds real busy, doesn't it? And that is how I roll. All right. With that, I think we normally say, like, check out the website, but don't. It's gone. I mean,
Just
it's up right now, but maybe by the time you're listening to this, it'll be gone. I don't know.
just message us on
Um,
Instagram if you want to chat, guys.
but yeah, check us out on Instagram. At least follow us to see what we're up to next. Otherwise, reach out if you got questions. We'll hop on a live and answer your question. Why not? We've got nothing to do. We're not making a podcast anymore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I got hours back in my week.
I got hours back. Yeah, so it's been a fun ride. We'll be back at some point, somewhere, in some function. But don't worry, Cella's out there bouncing on her ball,
Accurate.
drinking her alcohol, and making sure she can get some sales and get her business growing like crazy. And I'm out there saying "suck it, Nazis." Bye, Unstuckers.
Bye, Unstuckers.